And greetings. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All, where I squat down and yell at the camera. Okay, so we're back on this folder, folks. It's going down to Florida, and it's got to be right. I haven't given up on the radio yet, but it's close. Anyway, we're working on this rack today, and I'll show you what's going on. It's a sad affair. Oh man. Okay, let's go over here. This is a rack from a Columbia bike that it's from a Columbia bike that I got. Oh, it's long gone. Okay, I got this boy's Columbia. It was blue, it was a 3-speed, and it was in perfect paint, and the fenders were perfect, but everything chrome on the bike was completely annihilated, destroyed, horrendous condition. And this rack was on the back of it, and I hadn't seen one like this on a Columbia. It's like a 1 or 2 year only. It kind of crosses together in the back. Anyway, there's nothing being ruined here. Well, we are ruining this rack, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. It's rough. It's a rough one. We're going to zip disc this off. And we're going to zip disc this other end off. Carefully. We might have to reuse this because this 1/4 inch rod I have might be too thick to fit through the spring. We're going to take this spring and we're going to dip it in oxalic acid because we don't have time to go see my buddy Fred. Plus, he's probably hibernating. He's sleeping. Anyway, so we're going to make this spring look chrome-like. Then we're going to take this part off and shorten it to 6.5 inches or 6 inches. We got to shorten it to about 6 inches, yet to be determined. And then once we shorten that this piece to 6.5 inches, probably trying to leave this little brace in, we're going to clean this up really good, and we're going to paint it orange because the chrome's not coming back on that. You can see that it's just not going to come back. It's just not going to come back. This, we might get this to be shiny and look pretty good. And if it doesn't shine up, we'll paint it orange. Anyway, and I don't know what this would look. Oh, I remember. This was on the back fender of the bike. It like tied it all in. It's a goofy rack. I think it was a Columbia or something like that. The bike is long gone. I sold it on eBay. Yeah, anyway, let's get to cutting right now because this is what we do. Where's my earmuffs? Where'd they go? Oh, they're over here. Okay. Yeah, this is rough, folks. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. Well, you don't have to. You could go buy a Schwinn rack. That's millions of dollars. You could go buy the right rack. This should be very interesting here. But then we would, you'd be putting a Schwinn rack, a really nice Schwinn rack on a non-Schwinn folder. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. Making a mess in the garage. Okay, folks, here we go. Quite go through there. Guess we're gonna have to go this way now. have that. I have to clamp it somehow. Have to bring it over to the vise. Yeah. Good things take time, folks. Yeah, I think I can make this work. I'm clamping it because I can't do the zip disking with one hand. You can on some things, but a spring-loaded rack, you better figure out some way to clamp it a little bit. You know? Better do something. All right, we're gonna come in and try to relieve this one. And not hit the spring. All these bikes in the way. I'm tempted just to cut this piece right off, but I might be able to use it for something. That's pretty close. There we go. There's one. Okay, I should be able to break this off now. I want to put the grinder on. Okay, we should be able to break this off. Come on now. I already got around with you. Okay, this is the piece we want. Alright? And I didn't cut through these because I still might be able to use these bends for something. You never know. You might have a truss rod bike, or even though this was for the back of the frame, you could re-drill these for the front wheel. Barely. You might be able to reuse this for a truss rod bike, but for now, it's just going over there somewhere. Okay, so let's check this piece out. We knock over any oil containers. So, yeah, this is what I'm trying to do here is we're gonna, if this isn't too hot, which it is a little bit, we're gonna try to peel this out and see if the 1/4" rod will fit in there. And if it does, then we'll go from there. If it doesn't, then we're gonna have to use that piece that I just cut. Let me get some pliers. I cannot get that out without pliers. A, it's hot, and B, it's rusty. Hot and rusty. The story of my life. Hey, hope everyone's doing good out there. We're doing pretty good here. Sorry for the heater noise, as usual. It's not springtime yet. Okay, so we got that rod out, and we got this spring, which we are going to soak. And if it doesn't turn out really good, we will paint this orange. But for now, put that aside. Oh, but first let's test to see if this 1/4" rod will go through there. And it will. Okay, so we don't really need this rod. It'd be nice to use it in a pinch. We might have to use it. But it does spring things on the 1/4" rod. Okay. So this, we have to clean this up. The chrome is not going to come back on this. And I'm going to shorten it. I'm probably going to cut it and cut a piece out from here to here and weld this piece to there. So this is 6.5, and the reason is I will show you why. This is 9.5 now. From the pivot to the edge, roughly 9.25, no biggie. But yeah, we come over here and we pretend that this is in this hole here, which it will be eventually. there's nowhere, it's not even close. It's going to whack against that. So we could, oh, you know what we could do is just cut and rebend the pivot. We could just cut and rebend this pivot here. You know, cut it here and loop it around. Maybe that's the way to do it. But then this bar is going to be too close to the pivot. I don't think anybody's really going to notice if it's painted orange to match the bike. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave this structure intact. And we're going to cut this, oh, like right here. And go put it in the vise and try to mimic that, those bends. It shouldn't be that hard. That's what we're going to do. And this piece we don't have to use. We could, though. You know, maybe we could just make that work too. Grind the ends and shove it in those holes. Yet to be determined. It is a little skinnier than that. Yeah, yet to be determined. This piece I can chuck up in the lathe, and you know, once I cut it to be the right length, I can trim this down to be a little peg, and then spread that open a little bit and put it in there. And maybe some banging on the ends like these are at the factory. That's probably what's going to happen. Okay, so the next video, we should be well along. I mean, this should be done. It should be loaded on the, you know, ready to go in a bike box or something. Okay, so yeah, I haven't done the back wheel yet. All we've done is ruin a Columbia rack. Yeah! Thanks for tuning in. Okay, I'll put this on the next video, and we should be closer along to something. Hey, look, these clamps, they kind of match the bike, you know. We could just, you know, put one on here for safety when you're riding, you know. Okay, yeah, I'll add this to the next video. It'll be a couple seconds for you, but for me it'll be a few hours. Okay, later. Okay, folks, yeah. The life of an Italian folder with Schwinn parts. We're doing the best we can, folks. It's going to be difficult to get this in, I've realized. Not only am I going to have to make all this spring action work, but I have to spread this a little bit, pop it in, gently grind these tabs sticking out, either ball peen it with it off the bike, or epoxy it in. This is really getting ridiculous now. And there's no harm done. This is a very bad, worn Schwinn rack. It's in very bad shape. It's missing this, you know, centerpiece. It's missing the spring. Anyway, it did work. We got some pieces. I soaked this, took this apart, soaked it in oxalic acid for like an hour. You know, and then we shortened this. We cut those off, and we took that piece out of there, and we machined this piece. It's clear coated now with some matte finish. We machined this piece, and it had to be pretty precise. These things have to fit in here, obviously not sticking out like that, but on the inside. And this also had to be machined down, the second thing, because it has to fit on the clamp down part. It fits through the spring pretty good. So we're gonna give it a shot, like right now. So I don't know, this may not work, folks. We're gonna give it a shot. Okay, let's see, you in there? Yeah, let's get you down here. This is gonna be pretty interesting if this works. I have my doubts, actually. I do have my doubts. Let's get this tire out of the way and get this piece of junk rack that I ruined. Yeah, I ruined one rack to get another rack going. If this works, we will collectively jump for joy if this works. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All, and boy, do I mean all. We really got it going on today. Okay, so let me think now. I think this goes under. like that. Pretty sure that goes under. And then that goes there under there. But we have to slip the rod through and then spread this. Let's make sure I got this right now before I get all excited. I'm pretty sure that it goes like that. Oh, maybe it goes over. I can't remember now. Yeah, I think it goes over and under. Yeah, okay. No, that would be too tight. No, it definitely goes the other way. Okay. Let's figure that out. Let's scar up the painted part really good. Okay, so it looks like if we did pop this in, it would spring up like it's supposed to. Okay, so we know this is how it goes. Let's slide this through. These are where the machined part come in, because it has to fit in that too. Okay, let's give this a shot. I don't know, I might not be able to do this without some kind of clamp or spreader bar or something. Okay, so we got that. That's how it looks now. And hey, we'll give it a shot. Maybe we can just pry it in there, you know. Maybe I can just muscle it in, you know, like spreading it. And oh, that goes underneath though. Yeah, I forgot about that. Hang on. Okay. Boy, this is just barely gonna work, folks. Let's pop this in with a hammer. Man, I hope this works. Okay, it's pretty close there. So we have to spread this quite a bit. We may have to grind these down a little bit. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Go for broke. Yeah, it scarred the aluminum a little. Okay! Ha ha! Yep. Okay. Looks pretty good. I think what we're going to do is take it off the bike and mushroom that down under, you know, smack that down a little bit. And maybe even just smack this one down a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to allow me to do this with one hand. I can't do it with one hand, folks, but you get the idea. We do have a rack now. It does look kind of goofy. In fact, it looks very goofy. But it does. It will hold stuff. You could put a, you know, tent or jacket or whatever you're transporting. It's not bad. I can't really show you and crunch this in. I need more than that. I need to put it in the vise and mushroom that end down. I think I'll do this end first, though. Yeah, it's going to work, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to work. It's in the movie. It's in there. The next thing we got to do, and we'll take this off and mushroom that. Or epoxy it. I'll probably mushroom it, because it needs to come out a little bit here. Yeah, it needs to go this way a little. We'll pop it in. We'll take it off the bike and we'll hammer each side of that and mushroom it out. We got to put this new tire in the back, and I don't know if we're going to get to the radio or not. I really tried. That's a lot of welding, and I got to make these. I'm making this little candle holder for a relative, and I'll show you guys what's going on with that. But you know, I got to do that too. That's actually a little more important than a bike going to Florida. There's a little candle, and these are gonna go on there. There's two of them, you know, and then I'll weld a stiffener in between those two about there, and then a base, and then this candle will sit in a little holder, and when you're done with the candle, when it's all done, you can just put votives in there and it'll be a stand. Anyway, I know that's not very interesting. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna mushroom this out. It's gonna work. I will show you one final video of the rack probably. The back tire is that's kind of boring. We do have to clean these rims a little bit. Although, why? There's no brake on that. The one with the brake could be cleaned a little bit. As always, thanks for viewing. And yeah, this is what we do. We destroy Columbia racks to make a broken Schwinn rack kind of look okay. And you know, that's not too bad, folks. You know, I'll give it a B- overall. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Don't feed the negative. Everything's going to be fine. You know, just keep working on your old junk and you're going to be fine. Don't watch the news, okay? Promise me. And voila, we have it. Faulkner Fixes All here. Matching hat, yeah. Yeah, we have it. It is working. It should hold a coconut on here, or your beach umbrella, or maybe some sunscreen, or something to do with anybody that lives in Florida. Anyway, this bike's going to Florida. Not too bad here. We peened it. We ball peened it and mushroomed that and just gently hit that with the grinder. Yeah, I know, it's aluminum. It messed it up a little bit. Hey, you know, get happy. It already has like all kinds of things going on. And this side, you know, a little deeper on that, but it's there. It's peened in. It works. We did revisit this rusty bolt. I'll show you what I did here. Well, I can't show you, but I can tell you. This bolt was in there and it looked like crap. Yeah, that looked terrible. So we took a carriage bolt like so, and we spun it in our lathe over there and ruined the carriage bolts. We ruined it for any kind of strength, but we had to take this little square part off in the lathe, and we had to trim the top of the mushroom head off so it looks like it was always there. And we had to trim it to length, of course. Yeah, this looks pretty goofy here, but when you look at it straight on, hey, we're not doing too bad. You know, we got a rack with matching with the matching holder. Sure looks better than this one. Yeah. That's a big improvement. I didn't mind cutting that up at all. Like I say, I already sold the bike a long time ago. I was basically saving that for the spring. And now, you know, this ain't too bad, folks. I'll give it a B-. You know, it's a little wonky there. Maybe some straightening here and there, maybe. Just leave it alone, actually. It'd be the best thing for it. Okay, yeah. I think I'll spare you the rear tire. I still say I'm going to do the rear tire. I still say I'm going to do it. It's sitting right there. And we may even try to get the radio on. We'll see. That's another whole welding a bracket thing. It's looking like I don't have time. You know, this has to be shipped down there pretty soon. Okay. That's it for now. If you guys have any info on the Flandria, made in Italy or Austria or, I don't know, Lithuania? I have no idea. Apparently, these are all over in Europe. But in the U.S., there's not that many of them. Most of the ones in the U.S. were like really cheap 10 speeds or something. They weren't, the ones that made it over here were like super cheap 10 speeds. So, if you have any information, I don't think it's really that rare. It's just, I heard somewhere on some forums that the Flandrias, even though it's probably a Bianchi or a Coyote or whatever they call it, they're supposed to be more rare over here, but I don't really care. If you have information about what country this was made in, it would be helpful, so I don't look like a total doofus on the title of these two videos. Anyway, it's about as good as we're gonna get it, really, without the. I got to do the rear tire, obviously, but yeah, it's got a Sachs. I think this is a Sachs Torpedo Boy. I can't make that out. Anyway, they make a really good hub. This may not be the one. It's got some little cooling things in there, though. Okay, hey, have a good day. Keep those old bikes on the road, or I'm going to come and get them. I'm going to come pick them up.